item menus that you can select from. For people who have driving range only, you will only see the driving range and system items available to you. The 7 things that you can do is start golf game. If you stop in the middle of a game, you can save it and resume it later with item 2. You can restart a current game if you leave it for some reason by pressing 3. Driving range will allow you to practice to a green and on a driving range view also. Other games is your long drive closest pin competitions. System items allows you to modify aspects of your game, and club fitting is just what it says. It allows you to help people fit clubs, or it is a good practice tool. We'll start by pressing number 1, start golf game. You can start a new game. You can also modify a current game, which is very handy in many cases. Here we have the startup screen, so we'll type in a name, and you can select from different tee positions. We'll start from the blue tees. You can turn other items on and off. You can turn on screen, 1 putt, automatic, manual. So you have 4 different putting modes. We'll leave it on screen. And out of bounds or no out of bounds, you can play 18, front 9, back 9. And then the standard golf game, skin scoring, best ball, and Stableford scoring. We'll leave it on start standard golf game. And then you have items over here that you can turn on. You can set the green speed. We'll leave it at medium. And you can set your elevation. We're in Salt Lake City, so we're at 4,300. And we have a gimme distance. You can set it to 0, which allows people or forces people to put the ball into the cup, or you can set it 5, 10 feet to make it easier. Today we'll play true north, and then you go down and start the golf game. This shows the top view. That blue line for a blue tee player is 270 yards out. If we had a white tee player, they'd have a white line at 240. A red tee player would have a red line at 210. This allows you to get an estimate of how far sand traps and water are from your tee box where you're hitting from. Okay, we see a view from the blue tees, the ball tees, and then it flies. Notice that it does flicker quite a bit because of the capture program we use, but it is in reality very smooth and flies. In this case, we hit at 246 yards. We have a top view showing us our lie, and we get some stats. Our launch angle was 12. We landed on the fairway. Our distance was 246. Our ball speed was 135 miles per hour. Our club head speed was 100 miles per hour. The ball started left 3 degrees, but it had slight spin, so it faded back to the right, and our backspin was 39.71, and we're lying 1 stroke. Here's a view from where we landed on the fairway. We hit the ball. It looks like we're drawing just a little. We did land on the green. We hit 167 yards. Again, we see the top view that we're just left of the flag, and we see that we're actually 13 feet 3 inches, and you can look at the rest of the stats. Okay, now you see there's lines on the screen that gives you a idea of the break of the green. In this case, this green is pretty tough from left to right, and if you look in the lower right hand corner, it shows us we're 13 feet 3 inches away. We see the ball, and we see a cutaway view of what the terrain looks like down to the pin. So it's slightly downhill 5 inches, and it looks like it's pretty evenly going down. So I'm going to go ahead, and now in this case we're going to putt straight, and you can see the ball just takes off to the right. In normal situations you would aim it more left to have a better chance of getting to the pin. There's our second stroke. We're 2.6, so we're within the gimme distance, and so we'll advance on to the scorecard. We see that we're lying 5, and here's the second hole. Alright, we'll play this one. We're 165 yards away. That +6 in the upper right hand corner is the green in feet above our tee box. Okay, we're drawing the ball a little bit on this case. Looks like we may land on the green, and we do. Okay, we're 17 feet in this case, and our distance is that we hit the ball was 162 yards. Our launch angle was 19. Our club head speed was 72. The ball started left 2 degrees, and there was a little bit of draw spin on the ball, so it stayed left.
Kirk is up next.
Here's our green. Now we see this is a much easier green, although there is some slope around the cup. Ooh, just about got it in there. Now we're 3'9" away, so we will have to putt one more time. Looks like it's flat pretty much between us and the cup, but there is slope, so we didn't make it. But we're within the gimme distance, and now we had a 4 on that hole. And then here's the beautiful par 5. You can see the famous rock out there on the fairway. We'll stop now and go back and talk about some of the other. If I wanted, I could save a golf game and I could call it Troon. And then I could later, if I wanted to restart, I have the current game, which happens to be Troon, but also we could click Troon and that would start that game. I'll just exit out of there. Driving range is quite unique in that you can practice to a green from 10 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, all the way up to 250 yards to a green. Let's just take a look at one of them. I think the 120 is somewhat interesting, but nope, not the one I was thinking of. Okay. We're going to exit there. We've seen ball flight before. We just want to take a look at some of the various distances that we can practice from and what it looks like. There's one, a little bit of an elevated green, although on the driving range everything plays flat. Okay, and then our open tee is actually from a tee box. All these holes are from Ko'olina on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. Okay, and we see if we hit the ball here, we can kind of watch it going out there. Another draw. Looks like we may not land on the fairway. Oh, we just barely on the fairway. Okay, and you can see your stats again in the lower right hand corner, and it pops up on the screen also. So that one we hit straight, but we had a lot of draw spin on it. Okay, and then the final one is we call drivers, but this is basically your standard driving range picture. And you can see one thing I did not mention that we can do with these. Let me go back. I'm going to set up ball trace, and we'll start drivers again. Now you can see a line is running behind the ball, so we can see what that is, what our track of the ball was. We get another track. That one, both those started a little bit right but came back left. Another one. Okay, we're slicing that one a little bit. Started a little bit left, came back. But you can kind of see what you get with this picture, which is a good way to practice your shots. And we'll exit here. And then the club fitting is also unique. You may have some names in there, or you can just click right here to enter a new name. But we have some files in there, so it'll demonstrate what we have there. The file exists, clear it. We'll say no because we want to keep that data. And there's some things that you can set up, but the one thing I want to show you is the result screen. And on here you can see that you can compare your shots. There is a club name which we did not put in here, but if you was wanting to try different drivers, you could put in Callaway. Let me go up to the first page, number 1 shot. If I put Callaway there, then the next 10 shots would be tied to that club. And then if I put in like Burner on number 11, then all the shots there and thereafter would be tied to that one until I put in another name. Okay, we're going to exit out of there, and then we'll go to System Items, and there's a number of things that you can do here. You can enter operator access codes, which controls people from using the game if you don't allow them. You can add advertisements, which advertisements is a good way to generate money with this system. And there's some things that you can do to control the golf game, to control the competitions. You can also have the ability to display the amount of play that you have on your system from total and then the last day, so that if somebody's using your system and you're not aware of it, you can monitor that.